What's up guys, welcome to Voicey here. This is your host, Captain Zach, and today's subreddit is r/ChoosingBeggars. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. This story's called, Entitled Mom Uses Her Daughter to Scam Me for Cheap Pizza. Crappy Mom Tries to Scam Me for Cheap Pizza, also posted to r/trashytext. While working at a pizza place in Los Angeles, I had a customer come in with her young daughter, probably around 8 to 11 years old. They had balloons and other birthday paraphernalia. First thing the mother says is that it's her daughter's birthday today. I said happy birthday to the daughter, who replied with, "Thank you, but it was actually Friday." The mom had a kind of nervous look on her face, but quickly took it off. I didn't see this as a red flag, but it was definitely strange. They look over the menu for a minute or two and place their order. It was roughly $100 worth of food. The mom then asked me if we can deliver to a nearby park where they would be having the birthday party. This was also strange as people usually place delivery orders over the phone, but this had happened a couple of times before, so I didn't think too much of it. Once it comes time for payments, the mom asked if we have any sales or specials. This pizza place is popular and relatively high-end, so we rarely offer any kind of discounts for non-regulars. I told her no, we don't have any kind of discounts. She gave me a reluctant okay and asked for the price. I told her the price and she tried to haggle with me. I told her that I couldn't lower the price. She kept insisting I give her a better deal on the food. Eventually, I gave up and said that I would give her 10% off, our friends and family discount. She then asked for 25% off. I told her no and that she could take the 10% or leave. She left. The whole thing was weird, but we have to deal with scammers once in a while. I've never had someone try to haggle me before, but this isn't the weird part. About 10 minutes after this all went down, the young daughter comes inside, alone and holding a smartphone out. The daughter comes up to me and asks if they can get more than 10% off their order. I noticed that the mom was on speakerphone with her. That's why she had the phone out in her hand. The mom was listening to the conversation. She sent her daughter in, hoping that I would feel bad for the kid and give them a discount. I definitely felt bad for the daughter. She must have been so embarrassed and it made me furious. I leaned in closer to the phone so that bench of a mom could hear me and I said, "I can't give you the discount, and it's kind of awful that your mom is doing this. Unlike your mom, you seem like a really nice, sweet girl. How would you like a free slice of pizza?" I showed her all the slices we had available, hoping she would feel better. And then she says that she doesn't really like pizza. This only further confirmed that the mom is a trashy piece of crap who used her daughter to scam us for cheap pizza. My blood boiled. How could anyone be that trashy? And for God's sake, don't get your kid involved in your little scheme. Anyways, I then offered the daughter a free soda. She didn't accept. I offered her a bottle of water. She didn't accept. Eventually, I just told her that she was really nice and should never do what her mom is doing. I wish I had the chance to speak to the mom alone so I could tell her she's a piece of crap and she should go love herself. I just hope that the daughter doesn't grow up to be like her mom. Side note, thank God for the honesty of little kids. If I believed that little girl actually had a birthday that day, I maybe would have given them a big discount. And screw that mom for putting in so much work and making her daughter lie. Okay, so what I'm thinking is maybe they were trying to have the birthday party that day as opposed to on the kid's birthday, because I don't know about y'all, but that's happened with us a few times where you just hold the birthday party on another day. And so I don't understand why anyone would need $100 worth of pizza unless they were having a party. But anyways, the mom was still really trashy in this situation. Poor kid. This story's called, Choosing Beggar Was Not Happy with the Books I Gave Her, Demanded Preferential Treatment, and Wanted to Speak with the Manager at a volunteer organized event. Today, I encountered my very first Choosing Beggar in the wild. Background story, it's relevant. I love reading. I subscribe to 5 different book clubs, meaning every month I get at least 5 new books in the mail. And I typically buy another 4 to 5 books per month. That means my shelves are always full, and whenever someone, friend, family, friend of a friend, etc., wants a book, I'm happy to lend. Or if I've read it and don't plan on keeping it to read again, I just give them the book. A few months ago, a lady rang the doorbell. She said she was a teacher at a local public school and she was going door to door to see if people could donate some books to their library. This is the Brazilian countryside and public schools are very underfunded. I said, of course, browsed my shelves, picked a dozen books appropriate for kids, teenagers, and gave it to her. She thanked me and I said she could stop by anytime. If I had something, I'd be happy to donate. She proceeded to stop by every month. I always had something to donate, so she never left empty-handed. Last month, when she came, I was in the middle of an audio conference for work, so I just told her to come in and asked her to wait for a bit. Finished my call and went into the living room where I had a little pile of books waiting for her. She was standing in there browsing the shelves. I put the books in a bag and gave it to her. She thanked me and left. So far, so good. On to the Choosing Beggar episode. Yesterday, a friend called me and said there was this book market happening at a local mall. It was a free event organized by a couple of volunteers, and essentially, if you had any books to donate, you could just drop by and donate. If you wanted any books, you could browse and take what you wanted, and no need to donate a book to take one. I thought it'd be a nice opportunity to free some shelf space up and contribute to the community. So I went and did a full inspection of my bookshelves to separate anything I could donate. At the end of my inspection, I had over 60 books to donate, including a full Harry Potter set I had forgotten about and ended up hidden behind a row of other books. This morning, we went to the market. There were books everywhere and people browsing around and just one poor volunteer trying to keep the piles of books organized, answer questions, provide recommendations, receive new donations, etc. My friend and I had the morning off, so we offered to help. I was just finishing organizing a section of books and adding the ones I had taken to the market to the collection when a guy approached with his son. His son got super excited about the Harry Potter set. He approached me and asked me how much it was. I told him it was free and he could just take it. He thanked me and turned around to leave. That's when I saw the teacher. That same lady I had been donating books to was standing right behind him. I didn't even have the time to say hello and she exploded in full Choosing Beggar mode. She started yelling at me, asking why I didn't save those books for her students, that she was in my house and she didn't even see that set, that I knew she taught teenagers so I should have been considerate of her students and blah 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 blah. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I had been giving this lady books for months. Faced with my silence, she went, "Well, what are you gonna do about it? Now you need to get a new set so I can have it for my students." Still unable to believe what was happening, my brain came up with 3 explanations. She was drunk, she was high, that was actually her evil twin sister. And the obvious conclusion was, this isn't a conversation worth having. So I just turned my back to her and continued organizing the books in my section of the market. Choosing Beggar tapped me in the shoulder and yelled, "Did you hear me?" To which I replied, "I did. That set has already been taken. Look around. If you find something you like, you're welcome to take it. If not, just leave." And that's when she demanded to speak with the manager. And not only that, but every time I or any of the other 2 volunteers tried to open our mouths to explain there is no manager, she would interrupt us and bark, "Manager, now!" Finally, a mom with 2 little kids got fed up and called mall security. Security guard removed her from the premises. Now, here I am, waiting for her to knock on my door again. I have the Little Book of Gratitude by Robert A. Emmons set aside for her. I'm genuinely curious how people read that much. I used to read all the time, like that was what I would do with my free time. It was either play video games or read books. And, I would stay up all night reading and it was an obsession. However, when I got a phone, that completely changed. Now, just the thought of reading just sounds so unappealing and I hate it. But if you can read that much, then good for you. It gets you really smart. This story's called Lady Wanted 5-foot-long subs for free. This happened when I was like 18 and I still worked at Subway. So it's a little old, but this incident will always stay with me. So I used to work at Subway and we had this one lady who would come in like once a week and claim that we messed up her order and demand a free sandwich. Since it's fast food, we all know the age-old saying, the customer is always right, in case you didn't know. But I didn't really start to pick up on this happening with her specifically until maybe the third time she did it. So anyways, I'm in the middle of a Subway lunch rush. This woman comes in and orders 5-foot-long subs. Fine, great, no biggie. But she was getting needlessly complicated with her orders. Like, she would ask for one sandwich, then take it back mid-order and say she wanted something else. And she did this for every sub. I recognized her at this point, and while she was being difficult, she wasn't trying to get anything for free, so whatevs. We ring up her order, take her payment, and she's on her way. 3 days later, whilst I was closing the store with my buddy Pablo, not real name, we get a phone call. Pablo answers. Pablo was on the phone for like 10-15 minutes, and by the time the call ended, I asked him what that was all about. Pablo tells me some lady says that she came in and we got all of her sandwiches wrong, and she wanted free sandwiches to make up for it. Right when he told me that, I already knew who he was talking about, so I asked him what he told her. Well, she wouldn't stop talking, and every time I told her we couldn't do that, she'd just keep on insisting, so I told her I'd just pay for it out of my own pocket. This really pissed me off. Pablo's a bit of a pushover, but our store was also super strict and monitored the cameras hard, and if we didn't give them a good enough reason for giving away free stuff, especially 5 sandwiches, it was automatic termination. I told Pablo to wait in the back when she came cause I was gonna deal with it. Anyways, she comes walking in and looks me in the eyes and automatically knew she was screwed. I don't know how to explain it, but you can definitely tell her whole demeanor changed once she realized that I knew what was going on. And it was even more obvious when she asked for my buddy and said that he was gonna take care of the sandwiches because we messed up. Ma'am, I was the one who made you those sandwiches on Sunday, and I know we didn't mess them up because you asked us to remake them so many times that I remember specifically asking you if everything was good a few times before we wrapped them up and sold them to you. Yeah, but Pablo said that he was gonna comp them. This is ridiculous. You guys messed up my order, so you owe me those free sandwiches. Pablo wasn't here on Sunday, and he wasn't gonna comp them. He was going to pay for them out of his own pocket, and I'm not going to let him do that. We didn't mess up your sandwiches. You come in here every single week claiming that we mess up your orders, and I've taken notice of it. I'd be more than happy to make your sandwiches, but they're not going to be free. What do you mean they're not going to be free? I've seen Subways at Valero do a better job than you guys have because you guys always mess up my sandwiches. Screw this place. I'm gonna call HQ and get you all fired. My husband's a lawyer and we're gonna sue you. Okay, ma'am. Whatever you gotta do, but I'm not giving you a free sandwich. She got really mad and stormed off in her very expensive SUV. This is one of the first experiences with these kinds of people that I have ever had. And I couldn't believe how entitled she was. The worst part is, they actually had me on the chopping block the next day. And I got told I was gonna get fired over the incident, so I just quit. Then they rehired me 3 months later and she came in once afterwards, saw me, then promptly never came back. Good riddance. The one time I was disappointed with my order from a fast food place to the point where I requested, a free replacement was one time I ordered Chick-fil-A and had it delivered to my house via Favor, which is like Uber Eats, but for Texas only. And I ordered the best sandwich there, the plain old spicy chicken sandwich. And I remember part of the batter or the crust on the chicken was like undercooked. Okay, no, it was actually completely raw in some places. The chicken was cooked, but like I said, the crust wasn't in some places. And so I contacted Chick-fil-A customer support, and then the manager of the Chick-fil-A called me and she asked me what happened, and I told her everything, and she was super nice to me, okay? And she tells me, you know what? I'm gonna leave a free chicken sandwich card in the safe for you, as well as free tortilla soup, because she was hyping it up so much, and she's like, you know what? You gotta try it. I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. And so then I went there, and I told them, I mentioned the manager's name and what she told me. I said exactly what she told me to say, and they're like, she's not here, and there's nothing in the safe. And so I just kind of gave up on it, Come on, man. Chick-fil-A's supposed to be cool. Good chicken sandwiches. Also, before you bash me in the comments again for talking about Chick-fil-A, I'll have you know that they went out and said that the owner of Chick-fil-A said that they're changing who they're donating to. The owner of Chick-fil-A said, I don't remember the exact quote, but he was like, oh yeah, we're basically changing our ways because of all the backlash we've gotten, and we're being more conscious of who we're donating to, something along those lines. So, step off. This story's called Landlord Drama. I am a landlord, and having lived paycheck to paycheck and working 2 jobs most of my 20s and 30s, I finally saved up enough to invest in some real estate, flipped a couple of properties, and turned my second job into working for myself, and now at 50, I own a few rental units but still work a full-time job. I get the working class and what it is like struggling to have a place to live, truck to drive, and food to eat. My mother was single and raised me and my brother, and she struggled too. So as a landlord, I tend to be soft on people that were just like me at one time. I rented an apartment to a single mother. At first it was a couple, but the husband left for whatever reason, and it was just her and the baby. She could not pay rent on time because she only got paid once a month. So I gave a little grace and changed the due date to the 7th and never charged her a late fee as long as she paid by the 15th. She could barely afford food or utilities, so I put ceiling fans in the unit to help keep it cool, and I had an old washer and dryer set from an older unit, and I installed them for her so she could wash her clothes. My wife would also sometimes babysit for her, and we also made sure she had diapers for the baby and food. In one of the other units was a couple. The husband worked and she stayed home. When they had a baby, I sent them a card with a $50 gift certificate and wished them well. I was not prepared for the response. She wanted to renegotiate the rent, wanted a brand new washer and dryer, ceiling fans, and complained the $50 gift certificate would not even cover diapers and formula for a month. So I ignored her, but then the rent started being late. After my letters were ignored, I made a courtesy call. She was indignant that I would ask her to pay rent on the 1st when other tenants could pay it on the 15th with no late fees. She was still demanding a washer and dryer, and not old used ones either. And she said I owed her for utilities since I did not furnish them with ceiling fans. Everything I had done for the single mother in the other unit, she felt I owed her. Again, I ignored her and sent a demand for rent on time or pay the late fees. A few months later, I'm on the property doing my quarterly inspections, changing batteries and smoke detectors, and new AC filters and stuff like that. The single mother won't even look me in the eye. She does not want to let me in the unit and is acting very odd. So I call my wife over and we ask to sit down and talk. It takes some effort, but single mother finally told us she heard from the other neighbor that I had been using inappropriate words towards her and that I was buttering single mother up for other reasons. I was livid, but I calmly explained the reason I was helping her was that I was raised by a single mother and I was just paying it forward. I also told single mother about all the demands that crazy bench made with the rent and appliances. Single mother was shocked. I chose not to renew the lease for the crazy woman. Single mother stayed for a few more years before meeting someone new and she moved in with him. I still help folks that struggle, but I am very careful not to do too much or it causes rumors and problems. See, this is why we can't have nice things. Some dude's just trying to help a lady out and all of a sudden everyone's getting so gosh darn needy. I just hate that. I mean, I can kind of get how one might see that as special treatment, but he's just trying to help someone out that's in a tough position, and he's in a position to help. Anyways, what do you guys think? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.